Welcome. This session is for CHROs who want to lead in this AI era, even if you aren't tech savvy. Hi, I'm Cindy Liu, founder of CHRO Mastermind Groups, and I know as the head of HR the pressure that you're feeling in this moment. I bet I spend 10 hours, 12 hours a week learning AI, and even I feel like I'm barely keeping up. And that's exactly why I started building this AI roadmap, so CHROs could get clarity that I wish I had a year ago, 18 months ago. So if you felt that creeping sense of falling behind, you're not alone. But today I want to give you that clarity. Let me show you exactly what we're going to uncover together. Here's what you're going to walk away with. Number one, a friction-first lens to spot where AI can reduce rework, delays, and noise so you can focus on solving real business problems. A fast-track planning system that takes you from AI curiosity to strategic clarity. The confidence to guide AI conversations with your executive team, even if you're not technical, by learning how top CHROs are building fluency and leading in this moment. Most CHROs spend months chasing clarity, reading, sifting through vendor demos, watching panels, learning about models. Today you're going to learn a shortcut where I'm going to give you simple starting points so your head's not spinning by the end. In fact, I would say most CHROs I know fall into one of these three camps. None is better than the other, but knowing which one you are helps you plan your next smart move. Wherever you land, whether you're observer, connector, or builder, this next piece is what ties it all together. It's the path we're walking inside the big CHRO event this year, and I'll tell you more about that at the end. This isn't theory, it's built from what we're doing inside the big CHRO event. I'll show you how to join us at the end if it makes sense. Now, you might be wondering, is this really built for someone like me? Let's get clear on who this is designed to support. This program is designed for CHROs of mid to large organizations leading HR at scale, with no time for gimmicks. If you're being asked about AI and don't have a grounded path yet, you're in the right room. And you know what? We didn't create this because AI is trendy. We built it because of the real frustrations that we kept hearing from our CHRO mastermind members about what direction to take. It's confusing, no doubt. You probably heard it all, right? AI won't take your job, but somebody using AI will. But nobody tells you what that actually really means. There's so much noise, so many tools and models and trends and theories that it's hard to know what to focus on. We created this to help CHROs become confident guides, not overwhelmed bystanders. Well, hey there, if you stick with me till the end, I'll give you access to my personal AI research vault, the exact notebook LM library that fueled this session. I spent hundreds of hours narrowing down what articles and webinars you should listen to from McKinsey, Gartner, from the courses that I've taken, and summarizing that for CHROs. But before we get into the strategy, I want to be transparent about my own journey. Here's how I got pulled into what I call the AI vortex and why I stuck around. Look, I'm not a techie. I don't code. I don't dream in algorithms. I'm someone who has spent the last decade building a community of CHROs. And when I started to see the scale of AI's potential impact, I knew this could not be something we sat on the sidelines for. The truth is, many CHROs are still on the sidelines, not because they want to be, but because they're buried. They've been under pressure since the pandemic, managing nonstop change, navigating burnout, and still trying to drive business outcomes. So I decided to go deep. For the past 6 months, I've immersed myself in AI. Not just how to prompt better or use tools better, but at an enterprise level. What does AI really mean for our organizations, for our people, and for the role of HR? I've read everything from Harvard Business Review, McKinsey, Gartner, to niche podcasts like NVIDIA, to the courses that I've taken and paid for. Every piece that has made it into my research library, 10 did not. Let me say that again. For every piece that made it into my research library, 10 did not. I wasn't chasing hype. I was looking for patterns and blind spots and practical insights CHROs could actually use. And now I'm distilling it into 45 minutes or less, hopefully. What I believe are the most important focus areas for CHROs right now, based on what experts are saying and more importantly, what our members are already beginning to experience. One of our CHROs in our mastermind group said it best. This feels like the early days of the pandemic. At first, people thought, we'll be back in a week or two, and then everything changed. That same shift feeling is back. Only this time, it's not reactive, it's proactive. It's thrilling. It's a little terrifying, and yes, it feels like I've got caffeine coursing through my veins from excitement all the time, because this isn't just about keeping up, it's about showing up as the kind of strategic, human-centered leader our organizations need right now. And that's why I'm doing this. All right, let's jump in. You didn't land in this role by accident. You've earned the trust, the scope of responsibility, but being in the room and actually steering direction, that's a different game. Strategic CHRs don't wait to be handed the plan. They help define it. So let's clarify what being strategic actually means in this new world. Strategy equals choosing where to play and how to win. It's about making smart, confident decisions before the playbook is written. For CHROs, that means guiding where the business invests in talent, capability, and culture, not just reacting once it's set. But here's the hard part. How do you make bold bets if you don't know quite what's possible just yet? AI isn't a siloed tech trend. It's changing the shape of work, the definition of talent, the expectations of your workforce. This isn't about AI being just a bullet point on a roadmap. This is a foundational shift in how work gets done and who does it. If you don't understand what the capabilities are, you can't confidently lead, you can't redesign. And if we're not informed, we're sidelined. Let me show you just how dramatic the landscape has changed already. Our old tools for role design, hiring, and workforce planning, they're misaligned. Our models haven't evolved. They're optimizing for a world that no longer exists. If your mental model is still pre-AI, your strategy is out of date. And if you're waiting for someone else to figure this out, that could be a huge strategic mistake. The pace is breathtaking, and it's not waiting for us to catch up. This is no longer about future readiness. It's about real-time leadership. So the real question is, what kind of CHRO are you becoming? This is a choice point. You don't need to be a technologist, but you do need to be fluent enough to lead. Your influence depends on it. And here's the good news. This isn't about becoming a tech expert at all. You don't need to code. You don't need to build models. This isn't about tech fluency. It's about vision fluency. It's about vision fluency, the ability to see opportunities others miss. That's how you lead. That's how you transform. Not by knowing every detail, but by knowing where to look. Because when you see what's possible, you stop waiting. You start leading. Even once you believe this matters, the real blockers still show up. Let's tackle those next. Let's just name it. This feels like a lot. You're not imagining the pressure. You've got AI webinars every week. You're on one right now. Vendors knocking, emails flying, and your real job hasn't paused. Feeling stuck? That's not failure. It's a natural response to chaos. Feeling overwhelmed doesn't mean you're lost. It means you're engaged. You're not ignoring this. You're not tinkering just to check a box. You're asking better questions, and that puts you in a much stronger position than most. So what do you actually need to do to move forward? Let's review this fast track planning system and what it'll do for you. Nobody's asking you to code, just a reminder, but you are expected to lead. That starts with building the kind of fluency that lets you guide the conversation, not just react to it. Fluency doesn't mean technical mastery, it means knowing what's possible, asking better questions, and helping your C-suite avoid blind spots. It's what lets you shift from passive to proactive. That's exactly what these 5 steps are designed to give you: a lens to spot friction, a way to surface meaningful use cases, a plan that earns trust, a framework to build alignment, and the clarity to lead with confidence, not overwhelm. Once you start thinking this way, your influence expands because you're not just keeping up with AI, you're shaping how your organization moves forward. Now let's jump into step 1. All right, step 1 is about getting fluent. This isn't just about the employee side. This is also whether your leadership team is even ready to lead in this new environment, or if your peers are dragging their feet. You need to help them see what's coming. If they're gung-ho and chasing every shiny new model and tools, you bring the human lens and raise the right consequences. You don't need to build AI, but you do need to champion the transformation with clarity, courage, and strategic voice. So let's jump into step number 2. Step number 2 is build a friction map. Forget about tools for now. Just look at friction. Where are your people bogged down, right? That's your friction map. And as a strategic HR leader, you're already pretty darn good at this. So this must feel pretty familiar, and that's the good news. In fact, Gartner talks about how 77% of HR organizations are already pursuing AI to boost efficiency. Okay, at this point, you've mapped where the friction is. Now you want to stay out of solutioning mode and open up the conversation. Gather your HR team, or better yet, cross-functional peers. This goal is to spark ideas based on real work, pain, not just the shiniest tool. This is also where your earlier investment in AI fluency pays off. A fluent team sees more and shares more confidently. This slide is your sanity check. It's easy to come up with 20 AI ideas, but if you don't prioritize, you'll stall. Use the 2x2 to balance ambition with reality. I like to start with one quick win to build confidence and one stretch initiative that signals talent intent. This matrix also helps you bring a rational, business-oriented lens to AI without needing a giant budget or IT army. All right, let's move on. Now, in step 5, this is where everything comes together. You're not building a tech roadmap, you're creating a people and performance roadmap that uses AI. You want clarity here, not perfection. Even a one-page visual with priorities and owners gives your C-suite something to react to. It shows you're not just dabbling, you are directing. To recap the framework: number 1, get fluent. Number 2, map the friction. 3, brainstorm use cases. 4, prioritize. 5, build your roadmap and plan. And right now we have a strategic opportunity, guys. Really, look, most people at the CHRO level take action, and it makes total sense. CHROs start where they've always delivered: enablement, training, implementation, and those are good moves, but they're not the first move. Here's the truth: most companies don't have a chief AI officer yet, which means there's a leadership vacuum, and CHROs are uniquely positioned to step into it. But as of this recording, I have found, for example, 7 CHROs who also have the AI officer title. And that makes so much sense, right? You're already responsible for talent, capabilities, and culture. And now you'll have the opportunity to help your C-suite lead in an entirely new context. Because if they're not fluent in what's possible, the rest of the organization will stay stuck. And that's why your role here is about doing more than delivering training. As you can see, our method starts with the strategy level, not the tools or the software. We always anchor back to the question: what business problem are we trying to solve? And we use the friction roadmap to surface where people are stuck. Then align AI to solve that. We get clear on why before chasing what, because tools don't create impact, alignment does. And it's not about doing more, it's about stepping back, right? Zooming out and then moving forward with intent. In just one aligned conversation, CHROs can walk away with a clear roadmap, a lens to evaluating their C-suite language to guide their organizations, confidence to stop reacting and start leading, no fluff, just fluency. It's a clarity container. It gets you out of the weeds and back into the driver's seat with language, strategy, and leadership alignment. And here's the best part: you don't have to figure this out alone, but you do have to step in. So let me ask you this: What if in just one day you could walk out with a sharper vision for what's actually possible with Gen AI, a framework to engage your executive peers with confidence, and a clear, grounded path forward that cuts through the noise? That's what this next step is about. No more overwhelm, just focused container to turn belief into action. And here's how we do it. The big CHRO event, our Human and AI workshop on September 12th in Dallas. Look, one CHRO thinking alone can only go so far. But imagine a room of CHROs. That's when the shift happens. You shortcut months of trial and error and you shape this moment together. In fact, Gartner and Burson say that peer collaboration is a powerful accelerator. So if you're ready to lead with clarity, instead of reacting to chaos, let me show you what that next step looks like. At our big CHRO event in September, you'll leave with a roadmap you can use immediately, plus the language, examples, and confidence to walk into your C-suite meeting ready to lead that very next Monday. This isn't a theory-heavy event. Let me break it down exactly how you make this happen. It's not just a workshop, it's an experience built for strategic acceleration in AI knowledge and action plans. And I'll emphasize action plans. Let's talk about this program. So you'll get 2 pre-event recorded sessions with Chris McKay, who is a Davos speaker and a LinkedIn instructor, Dr. Jess Conser, who was SVP of Talent Management at Adecco, and they've created a custom AI workshop where you work side by side with other CHROs to test ideas. You'll also hear from CHROs who've done this in the real world. We've got a great CHRO panel who'll be sharing their experiences, right? Some of them are in the middle of it, but that's where most of this is living right now. We're going to hear from Tim Young, the SVP of Shared Services at HR for Pearson, an 18,000 employee company, on his AI journey that he started, way before many of us even realized what ChatGPT was. And he's going to share the good, bad, and the ugly so that you can learn from his lessons. And you do not have to do it alone. We've got 18 CHR mentors working side by side with our attendees to use their HR function as a real-life use case, while our insight curators, who will also be assigned to each one of the tables, help capture what they hear at each table and then share what they heard from these tables for all to hear at the end of our workshop. It's pretty fantastic, not just the connections, but the ability to hear what all of the tables are experiencing and what kind of roadmaps they've put together. So to recap, you're going to get 2 pre-recorded event sessions with Chris McKay to ground your thinking. At the end, we go deeper, working side by side with other CHROs to test ideas, hear real-world examples like Pearson's AI programs, and walk out with tools you actually can use. We're going to hear about case studies, right? The ones that went well, the ones that didn't, and how they leveraged AI and what kind of ROI they're seeing from their investments. We packed this with everything you need to build an AI plan. The full value is $4,525, but your ticket is just $1,500. This is more than an event. It's our 10-year anniversary, and we're marking it with a bold new vision: human and AI resources. Look, it's our 10-year anniversary for this event, and so we really want to make this special for you. Our focus is to help you get a big picture view of the AI landscape and walk away with a game plan that you can use that very next Monday. And remember, strategy is about knowing where to play. And if you don't understand what's possible with AI, you can't be strategic. And because we want to make this worth your while, we've got some really powerful bonuses for those who register now for this event. Okay, let me share with you these bonuses. Number 1, you're going to get the recording of both the pre-event master classes that our keynote facilitator is going to be sharing with us, just to get us prepped and really make the most of our day together in September. Number 2, you'll get the behind the scenes of my AI IQ journey, from everything from, here's how you write a custom GPT or agent, to how to use folders, as well as all of the more strategic topics that I think that CHROs need to know about. And number 3, the first 3 CHROs who register will get a one-on-one AI strategy call with me. And so I have a pretty busy schedule, obviously, between now and the event, But we're going to squeeze in the first 3 CHROs who register to get a one-on-one AI strategy session with me. Look, waiting isn't neutral these days. Every week, every day you delay, your team risks being sidelined. While others are piloting and presenting roadmaps, you're catching up. This event closes that gap fast, and I'm going to make this even more irresistible for you. Look, if you buy your ticket by August 10th, you'll also get a list of our CHRO AI use cases. This was created with our mastermind members, right? So we brainstormed, we talked about what are the use cases in our ideal world that we can use to brainstorm with our teams. So I think that you'll find that this list of AI use cases for HR will be super helpful in shaving off hours in your brainstorming. And to make sure you get a chance for lots of great connections and sharing, we've capped our seats to 150. And since our mastermind members have already signed up with their teams, we only have 49 seats remaining as of the time of this recording. So if you want to get your AI clarity this year, now's the time to grab your seat. Now, I know a few of you still might have some hesitations even after all this amazing information and the bonuses that are there. So let me just go through some of the ones that I hear often. But first, I want to just ask you if all this program did and all this one day at Dallas did for you is to give you clarity on what gaps you need to fill to prepare your HR team for an AI-enabled future, would it be worth it, right? If all it did was help you confidently guide executive conversations without needing to be a tech expert, would that make it worth for you? And then finally, what if all you got out of it was to be able to give to be able to take away a peer-vetted roadmap instead of figuring it out alone? Wouldn't that be worth it to show up in Dallas for one day? Okay, let's talk about some of the concerns that I hear. If your company isn't focused on AI yet, that's not a reason to wait. It's a reason to get ahead. CHRs who show up early with a point of view build credibility to influence when the moment arrives. Now, here's another one that I hear a lot, unfortunately, and that is that we've got too many fires to think about. We've got too many priorities to think about AI. But here's the truth. AI isn't a distraction. It's a lever. At this event, you'll see how CHROs are using it to move faster on the problems that are already on your plate. So it's totally valid, but we've got to reframe our thinking. I get it, right? Timing never ever feels perfect. But waiting often means missing out on early conversations that shape policy, budget, and strategy. This one-day workshop accelerates your learning before 2026 planning hits full speed. And that is probably the most classic one, right? Is I'll just wait until things calm down. Now you've heard what's possible. You know the cost of doing nothing. Let's build this together. You don't have to do it alone. I really hope we get to see you in Dallas. And in order to register, and remember, you have to be a sitting CHRO or Chief People Officer at a company with more than 500 employees for this to really be relevant for you. You can go to CHRO Partners /big CHRO25 DFW. That's CHROpartners.com /big CHRO25 DFW. We'll also have the link below. Friday, September 12th, full day at the Renaissance Hotel at Legacy West in Plano, Texas. It's an amazing facility. So make sure that let's recap. You get everything you need to build your AI roadmap and gain confidence, right? Peer stories, real tools, and bonuses to help you move fast, all for $1,500 with only 50 spots left. If this is your year to lead, this is your moment, right? So don't wait. Remember, CHROpartners.com /big CHRO25 DFW. Hey, listen, thanks for staying with me until the end. Seriously, I know how valuable your time is, and as promised, I have a gift for those of you who stuck around. If you go to bit.ly /CHRO AI Vault, this link will give you access to my personal vault. You're going to need a Gmail account to look at it, but you're going to be able to extract all the curated research that I did in a tool called Notebook LM that I use to inform this session today, right? All of the points of view, all of the framework, everything that I heard was basically a distillation of what all of these experts are saying and what we're hearing our masterminds talking about. So think of this as your backstage pass to everything that I've been reading and testing and bookmarking to help CHROs lead with confidence in this AI era. Once again, here's the link below, bit.ly/CHRO AI Vault, and grab access. Now, I'm going to leave you with just a quick thought. I guess I followed this marketer, this business leader. His name's Seth Godin, and he is like one of the most prolific writers that I follow. And he talks about when new technology shows up, some people ask, how can this make my job easier? But what happens if we ask, how can I use this to do something really hard? By Seth Godin. I love that. I hope that inspires you. All right. So once again, it's time to lead or get led later. I hope to see you at the big CHRO event. And look, I've saved you a bunch of time because I think this recording is only 25 minutes or 26 minutes. This is Cindy Liu with CHRO Partners, founder of CHRO Mastermind Groups, signing off.